Ayo walked into the hospital that morning with his usual grace and confidence. His neatly ironed white coat fit him perfectly, and the stethoscope hanging around his neck added to his charming presence. His tall, athletic frame and smooth brown skin made him stand out in the crowd, and his warm smile was enough to brighten anyone's day. Welcome to Afrotales TV, your home for rich, exciting, and inspiring stories from around the world. Today's story will touch your heart and keep you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. As he strolled through the reception, the patients sitting in the waiting area turned their heads to look at him. Some of the older women whispered to each other about how handsome he looked, while a little boy waved at him excitedly. "Good morning, everyone," Ayo greeted, his deep, soothing voice spreading across the room. He waved back at the little boy and smiled at the patients. "Dr. Ayo, you're too fine-o," one of the elderly women teased. Ayo laughed softly. "Mama, you're making me shy this morning. How are you feeling today?" "I'm getting better, doctor. Thank you," she replied with a grin. "That's good to hear. Keep taking your medications and you'll be fine in no time," Ayo said, giving her an encouraging nod before continuing on his way. When he reached his office, he opened the door and walked in, placing his briefcase on the desk. The room was clean and organized, with a desk stacked neatly with files and a bookshelf filled with medical textbooks. Ayo pulled out his chair, sat down and leaned back, letting out a deep breath. He sighed and took out his phone from his pocket. Unlocking the screen, he smiled as he saw a message from his fiancée, Zara. Zara was studying medicine abroad, and even though the distance was hard for both of them, they stayed connected through calls and texts. The message read, "Good morning, my love. I hope you're having a great day. I miss you so much." Ayo's smile grew wider as he read the message. He immediately dialed her number. Zara picked up on the second ring. "Hello, sweetheart," Ayo greeted warmly. Zara's cheerful voice came through the phone. "Ayo, how are you, my love?" "I'm doing fine. I just got to the hospital. How about you? How's school?" Ayo asked, his voice filled with concern and love. "I'm okay," Zara replied with a small laugh. "Just finished a long lecture, so I'm resting now. I miss you so much, Ayo." "I miss you too, Zara. Every day. But don't worry. One day we'll be together forever," Ayo said softly. Zara chuckled. "You always know the right things to say. How's work? I know you must have a busy day ahead." "Work is good, as always. You know how it is," Ayo said. "But talking to you makes it easier. By the way, have you eaten today?" "Of course, Dr. Ayo. You're always reminding me to eat," Zara teased. Ayo laughed. "Well, I need you to stay healthy, my future doctor." They continued talking for a few more minutes, laughing and sharing updates about their lives. Their love for each other was clear in every word they exchanged. Just as Ayo was about to tell Zara a funny story about one of his patients, there was a knock on the door. "Come in," Ayo said, turning his attention to the door. A nurse stepped into the room, looking slightly flustered. "Dr. Ayo, there's an emergency in the ER. A patient just came in with severe injuries from an accident." Ayo immediately straightened up. "All right, I'll be there right away," he said. He turned back to the phone. "Zara, I have to go now. Duty calls." "Okay, love, go save lives. I'm so proud of you," Zara said with a smile in her voice. "I'll call you later, I promise," Ayo said before ending the call. He placed his phone on the desk, grabbed his stethoscope, and hurried out of the office, ready to attend to the emergency. As Ayo walked briskly toward the emergency room, his thoughts wandered to his journey so far. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for how far he had come. Born and raised in Abeokuta, Ayo had always dreamed of becoming a doctor. His father, Dile, was a hard-working mechanic known all over Abeokuta for his skills. Dile was a tall, strong man with rough hands from years of working with tools. Despite his busy job, he always made time for his family. Ayo's mother, Bola, was a kind-hearted businesswoman who owned a large provision store in the town. She was the backbone of the family, always making sure everyone was taken care of. Growing up, Ayo saw how hard his parents worked to provide for him and his two younger siblings. Life wasn't always easy, but Dele and Bola were determined to give their children a better life. Education is the key, Ayo, Dele would often tell him. If you work hard in school, you can become whatever you want to be. And Ayo worked hard. He was always at the top of his class, and his teachers often praised him for his intelligence and dedication. From a young age, Ayo knew he wanted to be a doctor. He was fascinated by the idea of saving lives and helping people. His parents supported his dream wholeheartedly. They saved every penny they could, even when it meant making sacrifices. Bola would wake up early every morning to stock her store, and Dele would work long hours at the mechanic shop. When Ayo got accepted into one of the best medical universities in Nigeria, it was a proud moment for the entire family. "I knew you could do it, my son," Dele had said, his voice filled with pride. Bola had hugged him tightly. "You'll make us so proud, Ayo. Go and chase your dreams." University wasn't easy, but Ayo excelled. He spent long nights studying, and during his internships, he gained a reputation for being kind, patient, and skilled. By the time he graduated, he had offers from some of the best hospitals in Nigeria. He eventually chose to work in Abuja, where he could gain more experience and help more people. Now, as he hurried toward the emergency room, Ayo couldn't help but feel grateful for his parents' sacrifices. Every time he walked into the hospital, he carried their hopes and dreams with him. When he entered the emergency room, he quickly assessed the situation. A young man had been brought in after a car accident, and the nurses were trying to stabilize him. "What do we have here?" Ayo asked as he put on his gloves. "Male, mid-20s, multiple fractures and a head injury," one of the nurses reported. "All right, let's get to work," Ayo said, his voice calm and steady. As he began treating the patient, Ayo's mind was focused entirely on the task at hand. This was his calling, saving lives, just as he had always dreamed. Later that day, after ensuring the emergency patient was stable, Ayo took a moment to breathe. It had been a long and tiring procedure, but he felt proud that the young man was now out of danger. That was the beauty of his job, knowing that his hands could make such a difference. After washing his hands and removing his gloves, he went to the wards to check on a few other patients. He moved from room to room, greeting the patients with his warm smile and checking their progress. "How are you feeling today, Mama Binta?" Ayo asked an elderly woman recovering from surgery. "I'm getting better, Dr. Ayo," she replied with a weak smile. "Thank you for always checking on me." Ayo placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "That's my job, Mama. Make sure you eat your food and rest well, okay?" "Yes, doctor, I will," she said, nodding. As Ayo moved on to the next patient, a little boy sitting on the bed waved at him excitedly. "Dr. Ayo," the boy called out. "David, my friend, how are you today?" Ayo asked, crouching beside the boy's bed. "I'm fine, doctor. See, my mommy said I'll go home tomorrow," David said, beaming. "That's great news, but promise me you'll keep taking your medicine at home, okay?" "I promise," David said, raising his little finger for a pinky promise. Ayo chuckled and made the promise with him, before heading to the next room. He spent the next hour ensuring all his patients were recovering well and giving the nurses instructions where necessary. By the time he returned to his office, he was exhausted. He sank into his chair and leaned back, closing his eyes for a moment. His phone vibrated on the desk, and he smiled when he saw Zara's name. He quickly picked it up and called her. "Hey, sweetheart," he said as soon as she picked up. "Ayo, how's my favorite doctor doing?" Zara asked with a laugh. "I'm so tired," Ayo said, rubbing his temple. "It's been a busy day. I just finished checking on my patients." "Busy days are part of the job, love. You're saving lives. I'm so proud of you," Zara said softly. "Thank you," Ayo replied with a smile. "I just wanted to tell you about the emergency patient I handled earlier. It was a young man in a terrible car accident. His injuries were serious, but we managed to stabilize him. It feels good knowing he has a chance to recover. Zara sighed. You're amazing, Ayo. You've always been so hardworking and caring. That's one of the many reasons I love you. Ayo laughed. You're making me shy now. How about you? How was your day? Long lectures as usual, Zara said. But I'm learning so much. I can't wait to finish and join you in the hospital. Imagine us working together. That would be a dream come true, Ayo said. Anyway, I need to grab some food before heading home. I'll call you when I get there, okay? All right, love. Take care of yourself and don't skip meals, Zara said firmly. Yes, ma'am, Ayo teased before ending the call. Ayo stopped by a small restaurant near the hospital to grab some food. The aroma of freshly cooked jollof rice filled the air as he entered. Dr. Ayo, welcome, sir. The owner, Mama Nkechi, greeted him warmly. Good evening, Mama Nkechi, Ayo replied with a smile. What do you have for me today? Ah, everything is fresh. Jollof rice, fried rice, goat meat, chicken, name it and I'll serve you, she said proudly. All right, give me jollof rice with goat meat, please, Ayo said, sitting down at one of the tables. As he ate, a couple of nurses from the hospital entered the restaurant and waved at him. Ayo greeted them with his usual warmth, but he didn't linger for long. After finishing his meal, he paid and headed home. When Ayo got home that night, he felt a deep sense of happiness. Despite the long and tiring day, he knew he was living his dream of saving lives. He changed into comfortable clothes and sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone. Just then, his phone rang. It was his mother, Bola. Hello, Mama, Ayo said, answering the call. My son, how are you? Bola's cheerful voice came through the phone. I'm fine, Mama. How are you and Papa? We're fine too, just here managing. How was work today? Bola asked. Work was good, Mama. Busy as usual, but I'm grateful, Ayo replied. Good, good. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, Ayo. Don't overwork yourself and don't forget to eat well. You know how important it is to stay healthy, Bola said. I'm taking care of myself, Mama, don't worry, Ayo assured her. Good. I'm planning to visit Abuja soon. I'll bring you fresh foodstuffs from Abeokuta. You can't be eating that city food all the time, Bola said. Ayo laughed. Thank you, Mama. I'll be waiting. Please greet Papa for me and tell him I miss him. I will. Your father is already asleep, but I'll tell him in the morning, Bola said. After they ended the call, Ayo sat back and smiled. He felt so blessed to have such supportive parents. His thoughts wandered to his younger siblings. Toby, his younger brother, was studying engineering at a university in Lagos. Toby was smart, focused, and hardworking, just like their father. Then there was Purity, the youngest of the family and the only daughter. Purity was in her final year of secondary school and had big dreams of becoming an actor. Ayo remembered their recent conversation. Ayo, do you think I can really become an actor? Purity had asked during their last phone call. Of course you can, Ayo had replied. You're talented, Purity. Just work hard and follow your dreams. But you know how people say acting is not a real career, Purity said with a sigh. Don't listen to them, Ayo said firmly. If it's what you love, go for it. And remember, I'm always here to support you. They had laughed together, and Ayo had promised to visit her soon. As Ayo lay on his bed that night, he thought about his family and how much they meant to him. He was grateful for their love and support, and he knew he would do everything in his power to make them proud. With those thoughts in mind, he closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, ready to face whatever the next day would bring. Life continued moving for Ayo. Each day, he walked into the hospital with the same warmth and dedication that had earned him the love and respect of his patients. He treated everyone with kindness, whether they were young, old, rich, or poor. It didn't matter to him. What mattered was that he was saving lives. But not everyone at the hospital was happy with Ayo's growing popularity. Among his colleagues, there were whispers and side glances. Some of the other doctors felt overshadowed by Ayo. Why is it always Dr. Ayo this, Dr. Ayo that? One of the senior doctors, Dr. Tunde, complained in the staff room one day. "It's like the patients don't see the rest of us." Another doctor, Dr. Fatima, shrugged. "It's not his fault. The patients love him because he treats them like family. We should all be like that." Dr. Tunde rolled his eyes. "I've been here for years, but it's Ayo they talk about. It's annoying." Ayo happened to walk into the room just as Dr. Tunde was complaining. He paused for a moment, realizing they were talking about him. Instead of getting angry, he walked over to them with a smile. "Good afternoon, everyone," Ayo greeted, his tone polite. Dr. Fatima smiled back, but Dr. Tunde simply nodded. "I overheard a little of what you were saying," Ayo said, looking at Dr. Tunde. "I just want to say I'm sorry if my work has made you feel overlooked. I really admire your experience and the work you do here. You've been a mentor to many of us." Dr. Tunde was taken aback by Ayo's humility. He didn't know what to say, so he simply muttered, "It's fine." Ayo left the staff room, but his words stayed with Dr. Tunde. Despite the occasional tension with his colleagues, Ayo remained focused on his work. His phone buzzed every few hours with messages and video calls from Zara. She was his safe space, the one person who always understood him. One evening, after a long day at work, Ayo returned home and decided to call Zara. "Hello, my love," Zara answered, her face lighting up on the screen. She was wearing her glasses and a hoodie, her hair tied back in a bun. "Hey, beautiful," Ayo said with a tired smile. "How was your day?" "It was all right," Zara replied. "I had a long anatomy class, but I survived. How about you? You look exhausted." Ayo sighed. "It's been a busy day. There was a lot of tension at the hospital again. Some of my colleagues feel like I'm getting too much attention from the patients." Zara frowned. "That's ridiculous. You're just doing your job and you're doing it well. Don't let their jealousy get to you." "I try not to," Ayo said. "Anyway, enough about work. I was just thinking about how we met. Do you remember?" Zara laughed. "How could I forget? You were so bold." It all started years ago when Ayo was in senior secondary school. His school, a boys-only high school, had gone on an excursion to a historical site. That same day, Zara's school, a girls-only high school, also visited the same location. Ayo, dressed in his school uniform, had been heading toward the restroom when he accidentally bumped into someone. "Oh, I'm so sorry," Ayo said, stepping back. "It's okay," a soft voice replied. He looked up and saw a girl in a neat school uniform. She had the most beautiful eyes he had ever seen. For a moment, he couldn't speak. As Zara tried to walk away, Ayo found his voice. "Wait!" She stopped and turned to him, confused. You're very beautiful," Ayo said, his voice a little shaky. Zara's cheeks turned pink. She didn't say anything but quickly walked away. Ayo stood there, smiling to himself. "Wow, I just met the most beautiful girl," he thought. Months later, after Ayo had graduated from secondary school, he went to the market with his younger brother Toby to buy some things for the house. As he was picking out items in one of the shops, he saw her again, the same girl from the excursion. She was standing a few feet away, holding a shopping basket. "It's her," Ayo whispered to Toby. "Who?" Toby asked, confused. "Never mind," Ayo said, walking toward Zara. "Hi," he said, his voice cheerful. Zara looked up and recognized him immediately. She smiled shyly. "Hi. You're the girl from the excursion, right? The one who ran away after I called her beautiful?" Ayo teased. Zara laughed softly. "I didn't run away." "Oh, you did," Ayo said with a grin. "But it's okay. I forgive you." They both laughed, and Ayo finally said, "Can I have your number?" Zara hesitated. "You're not going to call me all the time, are you?" "Of course not," Ayo said. "I'll only call when you say I can." Zara thought about it for a moment before handing him her phone. They exchanged numbers and she said, "Don't call unless I call you first." "Deal," Ayo said, smiling. From that day, they started talking, little by little. Ayo didn't rush her. He respected her boundaries and allowed their friendship to grow naturally. When Zara graduated from secondary school, Ayo surprised her by showing up at her house with a small gift, a notebook and a pen. "I thought you could use this as you prepare for university," he said. "Thank you, Ayo," Zara said, touched by his thoughtfulness. They remained friends for months, but their feelings for each other grew stronger. When Zara got admission to study medicine abroad, it was a bittersweet moment. "I don't want to leave," Zara had said tearfully. "You have to," Ayo replied. "This is your dream, Zara. I'll always support you." Before she left, they decided to make their relationship official. "Let's make this work, no matter the distance," Ayo had said. "I promise," Zara replied. Now, years later, Zara was in her final year of medical school, and Ayo had been working as a doctor for 2 years. Despite the distance, their love had only grown stronger. As they talked over the phone that evening, Zara said, "I can't wait to graduate and finally be with you, Ayo. This long-distance thing is hard." "I know," Ayo said softly, "but we've come this far. We'll make it, Zara. I'll be here waiting for you." "I love you, Ayo," Zara said, her voice filled with emotion. "I love you too, Zara. Always," Ayo replied. After ending the call, Ayo sat back and smiled. He knew they still had challenges ahead, but with love and determination, they could face anything together.